But Mark, look, you look at the entire landscape of the college football. How do you see this playing out for Michigan if Harbaugh did leave? Do you see them taking a step back? Do you think there's a way that they can somehow stabilize themselves and stay in contention for the Big Ten next year?
Yeah, of course, the hiring uh, is going to be crucial. Of course, that's the guy. That's the head man. That's the guy that leads the program. That's the face of the program. That's the guy that is going to be in charge of recruiting, and that's going to be the guy that is going to set the pace and set the vibe and the attitude and going forward. So that's a critical hire, replacing him. But you're Michigan, and you're paying Harbaugh top 3 to 4 money in college football. So you have the resources to go get somebody who's a capable replacement. So I don't think there's any question. Again, Ward Manuel, a guy that's an athletic director of one of the top universities in the country, this is where you get paid the big bucks, is to be able to scout leadership talent. This is where you make you basically, as an athletic director, there's a zillion different facets to your job, but two of the most important are hiring, having an eye for talent, hiring, and then also raising money. And if you can do those two things, then you're going to be really good at your job. So, yeah, as long as Ward Manuel is capable of finding that next guy, I don't think that they'll miss much of a beat.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, eh, I always felt like what's kind of helped Michigan back at times is this sense that we have to do things the Michigan way, and we have to have a Michigan man, and those who stay will be champions, and all this stuff. And I'm all for being prideful for your program, and but I think it's okay, and they tried this, right? But I still don't think they gave him full backing. They tried to go out the box a little bit and get Rich Rod. And that what I would hope is if Jimmy left, that they don't use that situation to pigeonhole themselves and not try something different again if they see it as a legitimate opportunity. That how about you learn from your mistake and not go out the box, but if you bring somebody in, fully get behind them and embrace what they're trying to do, and see what happens, as opposed to not really embracing what that person's trying to do.
You sized up the situation a few minutes ago about, is there somebody currently on the staff that they feel comfortable with raising their game to that level to take over this large of a program that knows the players, can keep things running on both sides of the ball as it currently is. I don't know if that guy exists currently on the staff. But I think that there are 3 to 4 coaches roughly per conference that are at least as good or in that range. Maybe they may not be quite as proven, but obviously we can name all the guys that are obviously proven, and they're most likely not coming to Michigan because they got their own deal going, whether that's Lincoln Riley, Brian Kelly, and they're making $1 zillion and they're already with elite type programs. But then you've got this tier of Matt Campbell, PJ Fleck, Pat Fitzgerald, those kind of guys. Luke Fickell obviously just took a job. He's not going to go at this point, but
Mark
uh,
Stoops, probably Mark Stoops out
Mark
of Kentucky.
Stoops.
Yeah.
Mark Stoops is a good, what can Mark Stoops do with the opportunity to recruit elite talent versus recruiting and signing a handful of 4 stars and the rest 3 stars and coaching them up and putting together really good teams.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, I want to highlight this super chat, Nick. Thank you for your super chat. Uh, Now, what you've said, no way in the world would I do this. Offer Harbaugh a 10-year, 150 million contract with a 65 million buyout. Harbaugh will always flirt with the NFL until he can't financially. I would tell you if that's what it takes to keep Jim Harbaugh not interested in NFL, then he can just pack his bags and keep on walking.
Amen.
Um,
You
nowhere in
don't
the world do
want
that.
and I don't think that would be the incentive with our Harbaugh because I do agree that there is a strong possibility, and I believe that this is the case, that you can love your school and want to be the coach there, but also remember that what you missed out on and what you weren't able to accomplish at the next level and consider that to be the ultimate prize and the ultimate challenge. And you can be swayed in both directions. You can,
He could
you
be
know,
torn. Yeah, he
yeah,
can
you can
like
be torn. And I
yeah,
believe that he actually is. I
yeah.
I I don't have any question that this guy loves this school and
Oh
this
yeah,
football program as much or more than anybody else in the country. He
yeah,
played there. He worshiped the coach he played for. He's been connected to this university for 40 years.
yeah.
I absolutely believe that. But you're y-
It's how you're going about it. It's
w-
how you're going about it, and like, and that's the thing. Like, and if you, some of you who have now joined, I'll make sure to restate this. I am not condemning him wanting to do something different with his career. I totally understand it. He was really a bad first half because the 49ers really picked it up in the second half. He was a bad first half from winning a Super Bowl, right? And let's be honest here. The fact that he lost the Super Bowl to his brother, I'm sure is another is a big part of that, right? You don't think they use that in their conversations? That's not part of their playful banter. I'm sure it is. The Harbaugh family is a very, very competitive family. They both have stated this as a fact. That's how they are. That's how they grew up. So I know that it's always been something that has been a thorn in his side that he wasn't able to get that elusive Super Bowl ring. But and I understand him wanting to go back and being torn. But if you really love, since you love this university, try your best to do right by them. And that's the main thing that I ask. And I don't. And it may be where he is, he he can't be super definitive, but it just comes off as he's being very misleading at times. And that could be just due to the way he communicates and his personality. We all know he's a different kind of guy. If you don't know that, just listen to him in interviews, and you'll pick that up relatively quickly. But I don't know. It's one of those things I do hope that does get straightened out, soon. I would love to come on for us to do the show next week, and we have some kind of understanding if he's really going to leave or not. But the way it looks as of now, it's going to be a continuous thing until every NFL job is solidified and there's no more openings. There maybe his name is going to be somehow in the mix, and that will keep Michigan fans let's keep us on our toes for sure. What's interesting, I would love to find out how Ohio State fans feel about this. And I know the situations were totally different, but when Urban Meyer left, I was very upset. I was hurt because I knew that we would never have a chance to get him. Never have a chance. He left undefeated versus University of Michigan. It will always bother me. Now, excuse me. Now, Ohio State fans don't have to worry about that. They beat Jimmy pretty bad for 5 years straight. Well, 4 years straight. But now he's gotten the last 2 years. Would Ohio State fans feel a little, like, man, that guy got us last 2 years. I really want to get him one more time before I left, or would it be like, well, no, we got him enough times at first, on the front end, and whatever. Go ahead and leave. We'll just take that out on your next coach.
I think there's probably some folks out there that would love, since he's nabbed the last two. Would love to send him on his way with a loss.